Meanwhile, the international community currently has a common goal: countering soaring inflation. Our Lee Ji-yoon has more on the collective action.
Countries around the world are fighting to dial back sky-high prices. New numbers from the U.S. last week showed inflation is rising faster than at any point in the past 4 decades. And with Federal Reserve officials debating over a historic 1 percentage point rate hike at next week's meeting, many emerging and advanced markets are further tightening their monetary policies. Just last Friday, top financial officials from the group of 20 nations discussed surging inflation worldwide and increases in crude oil prices amid the war in Ukraine.
We are all facing a very difficult situation to manage as a finance ministers as well as central bank governor. We are witnessing an alarming increase in risk to food security as the impact of the war in Ukraine and sanctions, as well as export restriction. These are all has driven food prices to record level.
The annual inflation rate in European Union's 27 member countries also surged to a record high of 9.6% this month. The EU Statistics Agency says inflation is at its highest level since records for the euro began in 1997. Canada's inflation rate in May also hit a near 4-decade high at 7.7%. South Korea was no exception. Last week, the Bank of Korea raised its policy interest rate by an unprecedented half point in an attempt to lower inflation from 24-year highs.
Everybody, government, tries to avoid inflation and tries to avoid recession, but we're going to have recession.
The Spanish government, meanwhile, said on Tuesday that it's going to impose temporary taxes on banks and energy firms to cover the cost of state measures put in place to help its people amid soaring inflation. Lee Ji-yoon, Arirang News.